All right, so I have this new air injection pump. Hoping it's the right one. They told me this is what's wrong with it. I haven't really did any other test on it. They said, hey, go ahead and replace this. Okay. I'll put the year in the description. I don't exactly know, but this is a Volkswagen Jetta. This has the VRC6. If you have the VRC6 and this is what's wrong with your vehicle, yeah, you're gonna have a fun time. This hose leads directly down to it. It kind of spins and it loops, and it's kind of over here on this section down by this oil dipstick underneath here. And man, I looked underneath this thing. There's really no way to even look up at it to even, you can't even see it. It's so far buried. So we're gonna have to remove the front bumper and a whole list of other stuff. I figured I'd bring you along with me. I already did some of it. I wasn't going to film this because it's such a long process, but why not? All right, so using this is a T25. You can go ahead and remove, well, actually all these are T25s. You have a couple up here, three to hold on each headlight housing, and then underneath your wheel well in here you'll have there's 3 on this side. There was 4 on the passenger side, and then this just held on by clips. You go ahead and pop this out to get that, and once you get this out, we will have to remove this, but first, just so pretty much get you catch up to where I'm at now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up top of those T25s, and then according to the manual, there's 1 behind each one of these grills, and it says you can just pull them right off. So we'll see what happens. Let me get you all set up. All right, it shows to pull down from the top. Okay, well, yeah, okay, it is that easy. There we go, pull down from the top. It's just these little plastic clips and retainers. Grab you're gonna need a extension. It depends on what kind of set you buy. Okay, these are actually T30s. Yes, that's a T30. All right. And I'll go ahead and do the same for the other side. Now that I've got the other plate off, I'm seeing that this is a totally different, that you wanna get this one right here. Okay, now before we start tearing off this bumper, we're going to come here, lift up on this clip. Now, the idea is to take these 2 prongs and squeeze them out. Not so. This is a good time where you have some like some of those pliers. Can't think of the name of them right now, but yeah, those special pliers that do like snap ring pliers. There you go. That's what they're called. Well, anyways, I'm not going to be able to show you how to do this because my camera stand won't. But anyways, yeah, you're going to want to separate these 2 so we can pull this lever out. Okay, that was very easy to do. Okay, well, what I was going to say was, now that that just fell off, we're going to want to remember that there's for the fog lights, there's 2 connectors you just got to twist off. So that's all you got to do to remove the front bumper. Alright, so for the next trick, we're going to have to get this all taken care of so we can get this all disassembled. Alright. Electrical cable. Follow it back. Just running it, just feeling it with my hands. And it leads down to right here. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this, which I'm going to have to put a screwdriver in there and just pry it open. And then next we're going to have to get the that metal ball in there. Essentially you're going to want to take it, pull it out, and then push it towards the car and then slip it out. Also not something I'm going to be able to show you. Unfortunately, no, just not enough room. Next, I'm going to remove the 4 Phillips head screws up here. Just little compartments, it just pulls out. So next we're going to remove these 13mm. We got 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. Like I said, the 13mm, I'll go ahead and get that off. You know, I didn't buy the tool, unfortunately, but they actually made guide pins so you can actually take this whole assembly out and keep it nice and level. But yeah, like I said, I don't actually have them at the moment. Now, if you're paying attention to earlier steps where I removed these, it's seeming to be really unnecessary. Guess I got ahead of myself. So what we're going to need to do is remove just the wiring, I guess, of the headlight housing. We'll go ahead and get that removed. Now, really the last step, I believe, is to come down to around the driver's side of the vehicle, pull off this plastic shield right here, and there's going to be a right there connected to the back of the radiator. It's just a wiring harness. Go ahead and remove that right there, and that's pretty tight too. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get something up in there to pry those out. These are just, I'm not gonna disconnect these, but I am going to lift them up, and yeah, I'm gonna lift these up and out of that slot somehow. Yeah, they pull up. I'm just gonna need 2 hands. So once you get the front bumper disconnected, which I'm having troubles with the bolt, essentially the setup I want to do is, again, if you can order them, I'll put the part that you need in the description. It will make your life a lot easier. I regret them. They're like, I don't know, can't be more than 40 bucks. But anyways, they're just these guide pins. Put any one of your holes. Like I said, this whole assembly will just slide out. I'm really regretting it now. But essentially the setup I'm gonna do is, when you pull this out, I'm gonna have a jack stands. I'll just keep inching them out more and more my way until we get enough access in there. So kind of an odd dilemma. If you have like a bolt that is just spinning in, there's no nut on the back of these. It's actually just threaded into the steel. It's like a welded on nut. Best thing to do is just get yourself the thickest screwdriver you got, pry it in between here, and pry out while you're spinning. Alright, so anyways, I'll get the last one going, and then I'll have it supported on this. And we'll see what else we have to remove, because there's going to be other stuff. Alright. So front bumper. Go ahead and just slide it back. Yeah. Like I said, we'll just keep on walking it back. Okay, so it's at a stopping point, so we'll have to just look down in here and figure out what's holding us back from moving it out further. So now we're going to drain the radiator. Yeah, I thought I was going to have enough room to get this thing back, but it's not going to happen. You still can barely even see it, so I'm going to have to remove everything out. So I'm going to have to disconnect some hoses. Anyways, there's a little drain right here. Just turn it counterclockwise and drain out the coolant. There you go. Essentially, once you get that twisted, you can pull back towards the motor of the car and then open up the upper radiator. You can't access the top of the radiator, but you could do the overflow container. Okay, so after you get the upper and lower radiator hoses, this thing will be pretty free to swing, especially if you disconnected that hose down there. Yeah, next set of wiring don't really need, but that'll give you a lot better access to the pump, which, let me shorten you up here. That's the pump right there. So now we're going to, okay, there's a hose right here to disconnect. For the hose, there's a duct tape hose right here, you gotta disconnect. And then there's a wiring harness right there you gotta disconnect. And then there's a bracket, this is what actually holds it on. See, there's two of those. I don't know what size those are yet, let me check. We switched over to hex bits. All right, those are 5mm hex bits. So we'll go ahead and, like I said, remove those hoses, get this, and see how this bad boy comes out. So after looking at this hose, that's the hose that is completely cut in half. It's just those normal push connectors like those top two were, something like that. You just take two of the braided edges, squeeze them and pull them down. Probably all that was wrong with this, and I see there's some lines disconnected here too. Gonna have to find and order a new hose, and like I said, that's where we are so far. Still got to remove that top bolt. I guess I don't have to. I'll push this, maybe drop it down, but then I got to remove this electrical connector. But anyways, that's where I'm at so far. When I do find everything, I'll leave the link in the description. But yeah, that's what it looks like underneath here.
All right, so I'm not sure exactly where we left off at. It's been probably 4 or 5 days. So a quick catch up for myself and where we are. I took us off. I was hired to replace this pump, but problem was when I took it apart, what I found was this. Previous owner had duct taped this thing, this hose together, and that didn't work, obviously. So I've purchased every single hose there was on Rock Auto, AutoZone, Amazon, and we couldn't find it. We actually had to eventually just go straight to Volkswagen and order it. I'll leave a link in the description, but it goes from the combi valve up to the air injection pump. Yeah, it works fine. So got the new hose replaced, and let me tell you, it is a pain to even get this on here. But anyways, yeah, that's where we are so far. So yeah, like I said, I got the hose hooked into the air pump and back into the combi valve, which is in between the alternator and the air pump, straight back. It's $150 for this this little hose. It's probably a 7-inch hose, $150 from Volkswagen. No one makes it. No one has a compatible knockoff. Trust me, I purchased every hose on the market. So anyways, just go straight to Volkswagen, get this hose if this is your case, if this is what's wrong. They have it to you in a couple days. So we're gonna go ahead and test the system and see if there's any leaks. All right, I got my Autel plugged in. I actually had to upgrade. I wanted to anyway, so I just wanted to do it for this job. This actually has the active test. This is the 906. This is the Bluetooth version of it. So which is really handy, especially not having to run and start the car, because these pumps only come on during startup. So running back to the car, then starting it and running back here kind of sucks. So at least this one you can have active tests. Active tests. All right, so we'll testing. Okay, so that's working. Next. All right, that valve underneath here is working, and next it's going to test the air pump. Nice and quiet. Sounds good. It's not leaking air anywhere. All right. So I could say with confidence that that was the issue and not the air pump itself. Now we're going to start with putting everything back together. If you're watching this to the end and you see me take this out, this is an unnecessary step. You can leave this bolt in. That's just what they say to do, is remove this, which it did not give me any extra slack in this radiator or anything, so that's a waste. Doing this whole step right here where you had to take out the ball from here, that was also a waste. This all can be achieved by just undoing these clips for the hood latch release. Yeah, so yeah, don't do that. Yeah, like I said, there's stuff. I already blew out the radiator and everything, so it's pretty much completely empty. So all you have to do is get it all hooked back up, and we'll go ahead and get all the air out of the cooling system. All right, got all the little fine finishing touches up. Go ahead and start putting this front bumper support back and the radiator and stuff. All right. Get those upper and lower radiator hoses back on. And yeah, there's absolutely no way to do this job without removing this radiator and stuff. Like, now that I've put it even almost all the way back on, there's no space in there to even see. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a job. So yeah, I mean, if you got, this is like something that you're like, oh no, I need my car like right now. This is not, it's not the job that it's gonna be a fast one for you. You're gonna have to just be patient and tear this whole thing apart just to even get to it, really. You can run, if you have the scanner, I mean, you can run the test that I just ran with the scan tool, but the problem with that is you would still just hear it. There would be, you couldn't see, and the scan tool doesn't go, well, hey, you got a hose leaking. So you're just better off just, you know what's coming from there. You got the codes. You know what system the codes refer to. So just wow, I'll tell you, these hoses are on there. Okay, so after you get your bottom hoses done, you come up here and get your, I believe these were 13 millimeters at the beginning of this job. It's hard to remember 4 or 5 days ago, but get all 4 of these put back on for the bumper support. And then we're gonna, before I get too far on that, I wanna take care of this thing now, since I can actually reach it with my hand. So yeah, I'll go ahead and pull this out, and I'll go ahead and hook it in here for that ball, for this hood latch release. So I pretty much found a little easier way to do it is just take this back off. So before you put this back on, go ahead and put this ball in here and then lock it into that little space right there. Oh, lift this heavy assembly back up. There we go. All right. Make sure this goes up above that radiator hose. Get it all lined back up. All right. Now we'll put that up radiator hose back together. right, back here again. All right, so anyways, those are back together. Okay, want to make sure you're able to, that wire can go in there good. That's nice. Okay, I will find that other one, which is probably down here. Okay, make sure that wire is able to put that into the headlight housing. Okay, cool. Now, now we can make sure that, now we put those bolts in for this. Put these all back in. Like I said, there's 4 of them. They are 13mm. Nice, we'll go ahead and get the headlights plugged back in. Not working. Oh. That's working. No, let's get some live data. All right, that's in. Now if this falls off, it's just these 2 little hangers right here. We're going to do that. Those are for the fog lights. You don't have to worry about those. All right. So we'll get the rest of these top bolts to hold this back in. Now again, if you're watching this to the end, you don't have to remove these headlights at all. That was a waste of time, so don't do that. Okay, we'll get this. This is a T30 bolt, and these 2 are T25s. Now I was thinking before I start putting the rest of this bumper and stuff back on, might be easier to definitely get to those hoses. So I'll go ahead and fill this thing up and get the flush going. Before put everything back on. Like I said, it should be a little easier to get to all those hoses down there, I'm assuming. I don't want to put it on and then realize, crap, I need to get those back off again. So anyways, we'll go ahead and get everything going, get things moving. Everything's back on. Only thing left is the bumper. So taking it apart is your time consuming part. Putting it back together, it's really simple. But like I said, I want to get this flush done. It's got 100 and something thousand miles on it. So while it's here, it's supposed to be getting a flush. So I'll take care of that right now. So essentially we're just waiting for this to get up to temperature. Let that thermostat open up, let the rest of the coolant through the system. All right, folks, so that's where I'm going to leave this one. Again, you just put the bumper back on and hook up your hood latch. And really, that's it. I did find a bunch of other problems on this vehicle, so maybe there'll be more videos on this car coming later, depending on what the customer wants. I did notice that
only this passenger side fan works and this driver's side fan does not, which is a big problem. You definitely want both your fans working to keep this engine cool. And yeah, that. And I also found that there was oil in all of the almost all of the spark plug. So lead valve cover gasket probably in the future, and I'm seeing some stuff pulling down there. But yeah, you can't really see anything until you get it all tore apart. But so guys, I've seen a couple other things wrong. So anyways, that's where we're at right now. This is the Volkswagen secondary air pump fix and what they misdiagnosed. Like I said, don't take off the headlights. You really don't. This does not need to be removed whatsoever, so skip that step. That bolt will need to come out, but that's it though, so leave the rest. And honestly, I wouldn't even mess with this, because if you free this wire up, which it's just held on by these, just slid right on there, you just pull those out and you have a lot of space. And also that I noticed, a little quick tip before I go, if you jack up the vehicle while the bumper is supported with the jack stands, it'll actually give you way more room to access the secondary pump and all the hoses. Hope this helped you out. Like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, yell at me in the comments, let me know what I did wrong or what you would have done differently. This was my first time, but I think it went really well. Thanks for watching.